Chef is a movie written and directed by Jon Favreau, who also plays the lead role. Unfortunately, it seems that the movie is very autobiographical, and even though the main character in the movie has a redemption arc, the real-life Jon Favreau seems to be stuck in his own chef story.
I get to touch people's lives with what I do, and it keeps me going, and I love it. And I think if you give it a shot, you might love it too.
The basic premise of the movie is Carl Casper is a chef in a restaurant that thinks he has independence in his cooking and his kitchen, only to realize that when the moment arises, in the form of a food critic, the restaurant owner has the last say in how the chef cooks, how he serves, and how the menu is constructed. This mirrors the chef's personal life, where he's struggling with his own divorce and how he treats his son, failing to grasp what simple requests his son asks of him, and he brushes those off like it was nonsensical tumbleweed. This comes to a head when social media is involved, and the chef not only gets fired, but also rages in front of the critics, getting caught in 4K and blasted on the internet for everyone to laugh at. All along, his ex-wife, knowing exactly what ticks his buttons, gently pushes him to rediscover his love for the art of cooking.
You can cook your own food, you can be your own boss, I can book you for all the parties that I'm doing.
Thus causing a cascading effect to rediscovering how he can reach his son, how he loves his ex-wife, and how good it feels to make it on his own terms.
Yeah, that was a lot of talking and you not punching him. That's what the assholes say, huh?
Oh boy. I love Jon, but I'm gonna rail on this bitch for the next few minutes. Obviously, the YouTube algorithm is not on my side. However, if this video gets to you, Jon, just know I'm merely pointing out the mirror back at you. In the past few years, especially after the success of the MCU, this movie, which was done in 2014, became rather prophetic. Favreau is this hotshot director coming off the successes of Iron Man 1 and 2, getting hired to make some of Disney's most ambitious projects, transforming older Disney animation movies and making them come to life in this new reimagined version in this live-action movie. Couple that with working on The Mandalorian for Lucasfilm. I compare these to the chef's greatest hits. The food works, but when it's done without passion, it flops hard. Especially when you consider the critics' words to the chef.
You started a flame war with me. Are you kidding me? I buy ink by the barrel, buddy. What are you doing picking a fight with me?
I think Favreau wants to be more creative. He wants to play this other, different tune. He wants to challenge the audience. However, he is stuck under a massive owner's boot. Disney or Kathleen Kennedy is just like Riva. Disney buys all the neat toys for Favreau that he can play with.
Eating your food for the last 10 years. So now suddenly you're going to be an artist. Well, be an artist on your own time.
Gives him all the shiny IPs to creatively uncontrol and expects him to just play the hits and to just make the machine move. The result? Uninspired, cookie-cutter, normie piece of crap unbecoming a creative writer and director such as Favreau. Even Star Wars. The Mandalorian Season 1, in my opinion, was a fluke. How do I know this? Disney and its long arm Lucasfilm weren't even prepared to merchandise the gold mine, which is Baby Yoda. Which seems to me that they just let Jon play a tune. However, the downward spiral that franchise has had is incredible. None of the Disney Plus shows ever made long-term impact on the story, and regardless, all of them lead to the sequel trilogy of Star Wars. In fact, I believe that the last good Favreau film in the studio system was actually Iron Man. In the Chef movie, we got a reference to that from Chef Casper's ex-wife.
You're never going to be happy cooking for someone else.
Is this about the food truck? I don't want to talk about the food truck again.
Why not?
The movie Chef in all its glory and the cooking show done years later can be compared to the part of the movie where you see Chef Casper cooking what he likes, what he wants to serve. Once with Molly in his apartment, one in the kitchen with Martin and Tony, who can really appreciate his work, and once by himself cooking the meal he wanted to serve Rams and Michelle in The Food Critic. By the way, that is the greatest food cooking scene of all time. Fight me on that one. I have no idea what goes on in Jon's personal life. I wouldn't presume to put myself in his shoes. However, he needs to take a look at his own film, Chef, and start fresh. Go beg an investor like Marvin in the movie, humiliate yourself, and make an awesome movie you enjoy making. Make a movie that we will enjoy watching. Make a movie that will make money.
I'm not talking about how much money we're making. I'm talking about creatively, the food that we're serving. It's the same food we've been serving for 5 years.
Jon, it's time to retire from Disney and Lucasfilm. They will only let you play the hits. P.S. I wrote this piece a while back and only got around to finish it recently, way after season 3 of Mandalorian came out. By the way, that's garbage. The rumors are that Favreau is either leaving or got fired from Lucasfilm and probably from Disney. My hopes is that Jon takes a good look at his movies and, shall we say, buy a food truck?